On this NSFW show, we open up a big fat present for your pal and mine, Brian Brushwood. Also, we set some goals, we nut some spaces, and horses get deader and gayer as the time rolls by. It's all coming up on this edition of NSFW Show.
Netcasts you love.
From people you trust.
This is Twit.
Bandwidth for NSFW is brought to you by CacheFly at CacheFly.com.
This is NSFW episode 161, recorded on January 16th, 2013, Nutspace.
This episode of NSFW Show is brought to you by Pond5, the world's stock media marketplace. If you're a media maker looking for video, photos, illustrations, music, sound effects, After Effects templates, or 3D models, check out Pond5. And for an exclusive 50 free stock media files, go to pond5.com/NSFW.
What happens when the song is translated through every single language in Google Translate? All 64 of them. Ah! What happened? Let's find out. Take it away. Born in West Philadelphia in a short period of time. In conclusion, on Sunday, as we updated, school in a few minutes, I see you. Next week is not good. Economic problems. Mama, I bring fear. She speaks. I have nothing. Oh, I got a diamond. Winter features. Born homeless. We have Bella in a movie. 7, 8. He said I love you. Then how do you know? How?
What is going on, beautiful people? It is time for NSFW, the new show full of wind, the new sauce for the Weber, and that's the show that's nominally safe for work. Howdy, beautiful people. My name is Brian Brushwood, joined as always by my right brain, because I'm all left brain. He's always right. His name is Justin Robert Rubles III. What is going on? Professor J.R.Y. What's going on, man? Where are you, sir?
I am in the shadow of Legoland.
Of Legolas.
California.
Yes, of course you are, down in San Diego. And of course you're about to say that you and my brother hooked up and Jay's right there in the hotel room and Jay's going to be there. It's going to be amazing because you're in the same city, right?
No.
Why not?
I don't know.
All right. You're like, why don't you talk to your brother about it? I don't understand.
Yeah, we talked to him on the phone earlier today, and we were like, hey, you want to come hang out and be on NSFW? And he was like, I get off at 7.
That is kind of where it ended. We were like, here is the time that I end work. And then that was it.
And that was pretty much it.
Yes, it is. Okay, hey, man, how you been, man?
Pretty good. Pretty good, Brian. I'm out here doing the Go game. Had a fun Go game today.
Yes.
But I'll tell you what, Brian. Number one, we got a lot to do here on the show. It's your birthday. By the time anybody hears this, except for people listening live, it will have already been your birthday.
Well, in Europe, it's my birthday. There are Belgians celebrating my birthday right this minute, as they are celebrating the birthday of our own Jammer B, John Slanina. Also, birthday is Prager, co-founder of Revision 3. Let's see, your former roommate, Brett the Amtrak around Seville. Who else? And of course, in the chat realm.
Friday is Brett's, right?
No, it's like in Europe right now. It's all of our birthday. Do you not know that it's all of our birthday? All the awesome people on the internet have the same birthday. Yeah, no. It's all of our birthday.
His birthday was Friday.
January 17th. In Belgium, it's already our birthday. And Ben Franklin. Ben Franklin's birthday as well.
Well, here. Number one, those are the people who aren't on the show. You're on the show. Jammer B is on the show.
All right,
but Jammer B is what I talk about.
So,
hi, Jammer B. Happy birthday.
Everyone else, screw them.
You want to know what? Listen, Brian, you share so much. You're the breadwinner for a growing family. you're a provider. You got 2 employees. There's a lot of people looking to Brian with their hand out saying, what can you do for me, weirdo? And you say, listen, don't talk to me like that because I'm your breadwinner.
Yes.
I sign your checks. And you look Calliope, your new daughter, right in the face and say, you get one thing straight. I sign the checks around here. And I don't want to hear any sass out of you.
So what you're saying is I look them right in the eye when all these pretenders to the birthday throne show up, like Brett Rounsaville, and he says, I said, I'll tell you who's the provider. I'm the provider. See what I did there?
Exactly.
Okay.
You better ask for Brian Brushwood insurance.
It's the insurance that says that you get paid every time I punch your face. So every time you get in trouble, you'll be conflicted. You're like, do I want to punch my face? It won't feel good, but then I'll get paid. And then you won't know how to react. I'm Brian Brushwood.
You in my punch in the face rewards program.
On the
Every 8th punch in the face gets you $2 off your next punch in the face. By the way, I'm charging for punches in the face now.
That's how. Hey, did I tell you that I went to the Apple store? I lost 4 months of my life. Did I tell you about this?
No. Wait, hold on. Let me finish his birthday thing.
Okay, go ahead.
We're gonna do a little. This is your day. You're getting the big piece of chicken tonight, Brian. Everybody else is having birthdays. We're gonna get a little. We're gonna focus on you. Let's block out all these other people who are mucking up your birthday with their birthdays. Enough of that. You're getting the whole cake tonight, big boy. And that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna talk about goals we have for NSFW show. We're going to be very indulgent with Brian and his whims. My first present to Brian Brushwood, as we made a conversation before the show, is that I'm not going to make jokes in his direction if he happens to get misty about things. That is a birthday present.
You're such an asshole, dude. This is perfect Justin backdooring because because we're talking about it, and you're like, hey man, we should make goals. And the first thing I think of is like, man, every time I make goals, like I get all misty eyes and like optimistic, and I'm like, that seems like the perfect time for Justin to take advantage of me when I'm out of state and sucker punch me and make fun of me. And so I'm like, hey man, if I get all misty eyes, don't backdoor me. And he's just like, won't happen, bro. And then the moment we go live, he's like, guys, listen to what a baby Brian is. Oh, look, I'm
Whoa.
I don't mean that in a bad way.
All I'm saying is, number one, what you see as Justin sucker punching you is really a matter of perspective. Because I'm just always punching. Whether or not your back's turned is up to you.
It's really a matter of perspective. From the audience perspective, it's called delivering the funny. Every time I punch you in the gut, somebody's laughing.
All right. So we're going to talk about goals. And also, we're going to talk about what is my favorite news story of all time.
Dude, you teased this to me before we even got started here. I didn't know. I didn't know this was for reals. Okay, all right. We'll find this.
This is something. Now I know. I'm gonna tell you something and tell me how excited you are for it.
Okay.
All right. It is a sports story, and specifically a college football story. On the scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you for this story?
You know what? Before I started watching Friday Night Lights, I would have said 0. But since I took the drug of Friday Night Lights, then I understand that a story that can have elements that I despise can be extremely engaging.
Okay. But still, you're not a sports fan.
I definitely almost just cursed on the air to express my frustration with the idea of this story.
All right.
Okay, two things I gotta say here. And one of them is I'm gonna try to copy this and actually send it to myself here so that I could take a look at it. Your friend of mine, Zach Holder, sent me something for us to do. I'm actually emailing a link to it over right now because he sent us an intro for the our Oscar special. Which, did you know that we needed to do an Oscar special?
No. What?
Last year, we did an Oscar special with Man from Man vs. Game, and we haven't. Don't you remember? Like, we picked all the losers for the Oscars instead of picking our winners, right? And the winner was the one who was able to successfully dodge all the nominees that actually won.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Wow. No, but it sounds hilarious.
Sounds great. It's a great bit. It's a great bit. Well, earlier today, Zach was like, "Hey man, so I got some stuff ready for your Oscars special that you're having," and I was like, "We are?" Which, by the way, that's not a bad thing. Half the ideas, half the stuff you see on NSFW started with a chat realm member saying, "Hey man, I did this for your blank special," and we're like, "It's gonna be great, bro. It's gonna be awesome." Our Oscar special.
Here's the way that it works. With chat realm directing content, you have to just guess correctly, because if you come up with a bit and you come up with some sort of fancy clip for it to like intro it, and it's a simple enough bit, we will do that bit.
Yes.
Like what is just about to happen with Jammerby. Even if we never did that special and he was just making that up and wanted us to do this bit and made an intro for it, we would do it because we like having your ideas. We're lazy, so we're lazy, and we're lazy.
Right.
So
that's okay. So let's take a look.
Sometimes it does not work. Like when people put together a big intro for a gigantic match game bit with like 18 different people that we would have had to wrangle.
That we would have had to book. Yeah, no, that's the only time. Wow, that really did kind of push the limits.
Let's see, Zach.
All right, here we go. Zach put this together for us. Holy crap. What? Not appearing, old John Smokey. So pretty much put it in the bank that we're definitely doing an Oscar special now, right? Is that what's going on?
We certainly are. We absolutely are, without a doubt.
Also from the chat realm, T2T2 is hitting us up, reminding us that apparently there are some other awards going on in Las Vegas land, and completely unsanctioned by Justin and I. Chat realm, as they are wont to do, ran off in their own direction and put together the Chat Realm Podcast Awards. If you go to chatroom.us/awards, they got a few categories, including Best Podcast, Best Worst Podcast, Best Podcast We Never Heard of, Best Podcast Nobody Listened to, the Best Podcast Made by Chat Realmers, Best Canceled Podcast, Podcast that should have been canceled last April, Best Podcast that hosted by an atheist squirrel juggler based in South America, Best Video Podcast that would be better with audio only, Best Analog Podcast, formerly known as Best Newsletter, Best Podcast that needs to get their S in gear because they're awesome and we want more, Best Intro Song, Best Beard, Worst Beard, Best Brian Brushwood Appearance, Best Justin Robert Young Guest Appearance, Nerdgasm of the Year, Best Swear Evasion, Euphemism in a Podcast, Most Gratuitous Use of the F Word in a Podcast, Best Visual Representation of Tom Merritt's Beard on a Podcast, and the Best of 2012 Awards Show. So please head on over there and throw in your nominations.
Chatroom.us/awards.
Amazing.
Get that URL out there for the audio listeners.
So I lost 4 months of my life, and I was
Brian, get that chat realm URL out there.
It's chatroom.us/awards, just like I said before.
Good.
Right. So my phone did this thing where it's like when you call people, it just sounded like a modem on their end, and it did it no matter how many times I restarted or rebooted, and I ran out of time. I booked something with like 4 hours planning to back up the phone, but you can't in iTunes choose where the backup for your phones goes. It always has to be in the iTunes directory. So on my laptop, I only have like 100 gigabyte SSD drive. So it got full and I kept deleting stuff to make room for it. But then when I put it in there, it just wouldn't, it would get like 3/4 of the way full and be like, can't back it up, bro. So I just ran out of steam. And so I went to go get my phone replaced at the Apple store. And here's what I realized. I realized that there's not been a single time in my entire life that I've made an appointment at the Genius Bar and been happy about it. Like I've never showed up like, boy, am I happy to be at the Genius Bar, a bar with no goddamn liquor, filled with smug people who call themselves geniuses.
Well, I mean, is it a place to be happy? Would be my question. Do you have an unrealistic expectation for the Genius Bar?
Probably. That's the fault. That's the fault of. I'm gonna
they'd be like, when's the last time I showed up for surgery and was happy?
Exactly. But okay, but it's like don't label the surgery the Funplex 8000. You know, it's like don't use the word bar if you're gonna go there and get tech support, right? So, but unfortunately,
wait, really? That's what this boils down to?
A little bit.
Correct nomenclature.
Little bit. Okay, so it's like, so I'm all fired up, and I'm bummed because I didn't get to back up my phone, and I just ran out. It's like, this is my one chance. I got to go to the Genius Bar, and I give him the phone, and it's like, it doesn't work, and then And I'm trying really hard not just to be mad at everyone and everything. And so, but the guy's super helpful, super friendly. He's like, yes, we definitely need to replace your phone. I'm like, great, whatever you got to do, just do it. And it's like,
now,
barely.
Would it made you happier if he was like, yes, we need to replace your phone. We need to replace your phone today.
I'll tell you what would have made
you happy.
No, what would have made me happy is just like, I'm going to tell you something, but first, let me pour you a shot of Jack. All right, you done? You got that? You're good? Can I top you off? We got a lager on tap? All right, bad news, bro. Got to replace your phone. See, that would have been great. But instead, so it's just like, we got to replace your phone. You're going to lose 4 months of all your text messages and all this other stuff, which again, not his fault. None of this is his fault. Everyone was super professional. But then, but meanwhile, like I'm a child. I'm a child who's just disappointed because I tried to back everything up and it wouldn't work. And there's nothing I could do
in the Apple Store.
And plus, I'm in the Genius Bar, and so I'm just like, yeah, fine.
You're so smart. Why can't you get me a drink?
So at this point, I'm just sitting there pouting.
You just point at everybody and go, hey, genius.
I don't know, I don't know.
I'm going to lose 4 months because, okay, genius.
Yeah, I don't know. You're the genius. Just everything they ask for. Like, can I see your ID? I don't know, bro. You're the genius. So, so I'm sitting there doing my best not to pout. And the guy's like, I'm going to replace your phone. And granted, like, that's one thing Apple's good about is always giving you a free phone. So I'm sitting there waiting, simmering controlled rage and so on. And just to kill the time, the guy's like, really enjoy your podcasts. And then it hits me. The paradox, the utter betrayal paradox. Like, if I am ever at a Genius Bar, it is not because I'm happy and thrilled. It's because something's gone wrong and I'm pouting and I'm childish and I'm terrible person. And that is the one place that I'm far and away most likely. And I was looking like this. I was full on, glasses and hat and the front of it. I'm like, what's going on? I brought my phone.
Hey, genius. Where's the freaking phone, genius?
Hey, genius. I'm just a customer, genius. And I guess the problem is I handed my phone.
I like how you went higher with the voice, by the way.
Yes.
I'm just a customer genius.
I'm just a customer genius. And of course,
you're the genius. You really outthought yourself on that one, genius.
But then I'm sure they look at it like, Brian Brushwood. Could that be the whiny, bitchy Brian Brushwood from Twit? Oh, look, here he is. So, unfortunately,
is he a sample guy?
No, he was a Twit fan, and two of them were Twit fans. It was Napoleon, and I never got the other guy's name. They were super cool. Everything was great, but it was like one of those moments where, like, neither you and I are so humble. We're like, none of us matter. We're idiots. Nobody knows who we are. But except at the Genius Bar, Justin, and this is my mission to you. I want you to try
go to the
Genius Bar. And I want you to have something broken, and I need you to, like, be the most Justin Robert Young you can possibly be. Like, accidentally.
No, wait, you're saying that I should go there trolling?
Yes.
If I can be like in the same way that you would, like, I'd be like, go going to a pickup bar.
Yes.
And like hoping to find the girl that would find me attractive. I'm going to the Apple Genius bar to see if somebody recognizes me as Justin Robert Young.
But to help them out, what I want you to do is drop some of your characteristic voices where it's just like you're like, well, I tried to make a call, but then the phone, it's all like, oh, I cannot make the call. I am old and sick. It is me, sick iPhone.
So wait, I should just be doing like them as I never dropped the names of the character.
Yes.
Because then I plugged it in to my MacBook, and my MacBook was I'm Justin's MacBook. I work alone, and I enjoy plugging into my iPhone and enjoying a bottle of pork.
Yes. And we're like, yeah, what I want to be is I want to be downloading songs so my phone could be all like, this is DOPE, where my ringtones be? This is dope. What? and then when you get service.
The problem is, Brian, that I keep going onto my iPad to find out how I can troubleshoot it myself.
Sure.
And my iPad's like, hey, miss, you need to bring that into the Genius. You think you're so smart. Why don't you?
Here's what I want.
Extra $5.
I want them to fix it, as they will, because they're fine people at the Genius Bar, especially in Austin, Texas. But when they fix it, I want you to go all be full on Genius Bar hype man. Like, I want you to have a towel that was like tucked away. You start whipping around in your head. You're like, woo! What y'all mother lovers know about people who fix your iPad, your iPhone, your iDevices? Woo!
Imagine how awkward that would be if I did it. And even let's give me the benefit of the doubt that the two people, I find two people like you found two people at the Genius Bar, and they love it. They're having the time of their life. This is hilarious to them. I get through an entire Mac Genius Bar hype man routine.
Yes.
And how awkward is it just as in that second of my voice coming down and the deafening silence just being brought as everybody's looking
I'll tell you what,
like, is he going to be removed?
You've been there, and you know what happens is you hear that deafening silence, and the next sound you hear is, as you keep on going with the Genius Bar hype man. Woo! Like, at that point, it becomes a war between you and them, because you've been there, right? You've been there where you're selling material, and it just falls dead, and then you're like, let us duel. And you just go for it.
Yeah, at that point, it's like the only way that you have to turn into the skid to correct it. Like, the material's not funny, so now you have to make your attempt at the material funny.
Yes.
And the only way to do that is just double down.
Yes.
Doubling down until eventually you hit.
Unfortunately. Hey, before we go into the rest of this episode, do we have our sponsor for this one? Do we know who that is?
Brian, let me tell you a Celtic riddle.
Celtic riddle. I love Celtic's riddles.
No, not your old pal Bob Celtics. It's Celtic.
Celtic. Okay, so I have to wear a Celtic.
Shame what happened to Bob Celtics, though, to be fair.
Celtic's a bit. Yes. No, it really is. Go ahead. Tell me about it. What's the riddle, sir? What's in the riddle, sir?
Now I'm just thinking about Bob Celtics, though.
Who's Bob Celtics?
It's your friend, Bob Celtics. You know, he had that red wagon. He fell off the cliff.
It was a bummer. He was drunk, though, man. He went out high as a kite. Or he thought he was high because he was at the top of the cliff. He wasn't so high by the time he hit the bottom.
He went up the cliff and he said, "This will last forever."
Yes.
It didn't. Lasted really
weird part,
about
as he fell, he shouted, "Invest in HP!" Because he was convinced, man, the tech bubble forever.
Yeah. Old Celtics. Now, if you would like to make the video of Bob Celtics, you can get all of your stock media needs filled at Pond 5.
Did you just suggest that people use our sponsor Pond 5 to make a snuff film reenactment?
No, I mean, number one, Snuff is a really weird term. People die in movies all the time.
Not to me. I'm gonna call every time somebody dies in any movie, whether it's like Steel Magnolias and some old lady dies or whatever, I'll be all like, oh, it's like great.
Campy.
Or a snuff film. Like, just everything's a snuff film. If anyone dies in it, I'm gonna be disgusted. This kind of murder porn should not stand.
Get these snuff films off my television, Bonnie.
What's funny is I don't even do it in public. I grandstand in front of the children on my smug, self-righteous altar. I'm like, I'll not stand for this snuff filmery. And she's like, what are you talking about? It's Iron Man. Like, that man died. He died in the service of doing evil, and he didn't deserve to.
Brian, let me tell you this. Number one, of course, we've been talking about Pond 5 a lot. You can get all your stock media needs. Photos, vector illustrations, music tracks, sound effects, customizable motion graphics templates, 3D models, and more. But let me tell you about this, right?
Yep.
So I've been watching a lot of Portlandia lately.
Oh, dude, you've been talking it up, man. It's like sketch comedy to the wind degree.
You watch at the end of Portlandia, graphics provided by Pond 5.
No.
For real.
Really?
Like a professional show goes to Pond 5 to get graphics and stuff.
Okay, I don't blame you because Pond 5 is rad, but here's the thing. There are people in chat room who might think, okay, great. You're going to trot out Portlandia and you're telling me like, I'm not going to make something as great as Portlandia. What can I make that Pond 5 will use? I don't know. How about this little gem from the internet called Nutspace? There. That's Pond 5 too, man. It's up to you. So I'm just saying, like, you don't have to be.
Oh my God. All right. Brian, you need to tweet that out. And people who are listening to this on audio, go back in Brian's Twitter timeline and find Nutspace.
What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. I'm sorry, you were saying.
That's one crazy ass nut.
That's a crazy ass nut in space. Go ahead. Everything's fine. What is that sound? What do you think they did for the Foley on that? You think that's Pond 5?
Yeah, I think it's just a bubble pop sound.
Man, that sounds kind of creamy for a bubble attack.
Exclusive free stock media files. Go to pond5.com/NSFW and maybe you can create Nutspace. Harry grab the ankles want something for free, man. Get your t-shirts now.
Hey. Hey, man, did you have like a new favorite thing that involved sports ball or something?
I'm going to read to you directly from the story posted on Deadspin.
Okay, go for it. Should I be looking at it? Should I be jumping over there?
No. Let me just read this to you because if you go to the webpage, then it'll be spoiled.
Got it.
Notre Dame's Manti Te'o played a season under a terrible burden.
Oh, yeah.
A Mormon linebacker who led his Catholic school's football program back to glory. Te'o was whipsawed between personal tragedies along the way. In the span of 6 hours in September, as Sports Illustrated tells it, Te'o first learned of the death of his grandmother, Annette Santiago, and then the death of his girlfriend, Lene Keika.
Oof.
Keika, 22 years old, had been in a serious car accident in California, and then had been diagnosed with leukemia. SI's Pete Thamel, a Daily Orange graduate, I might point out.
Wow, do you like keep track of all that crap? Like do you pay attention to what journalists came from the same place you did?
Well, it's kind of a small community, of Daily Orange people, and he was like 2 years.
You're like, Brian, there are 5 of us. It's pretty easy. We tend to, hey, there he is. It's Harry. Harry grabbing.
Well, and it's easy to track the guys that actually do things for a living.
Sure, sure.
Just Thamel described how Te'o would phone her in the hospital room and stay on the line with her as he slept through the night. quote, her relatives told him that at her lowest points, as she fought to emerge from a coma, her breathing rate would increase at the sound of his voice. Upon receiving news of those two deaths, Teo went out to lead the Fighting Irish to a 20-3 upset of Michigan State, racking up 12 tackles. It was heartbreaking and inspirational. Teo would appear on ESPN's College Game Day to talk about the letters his girlfriend had written him during her illness. He would send a heartfelt letter to the parents of a sick child discussing his experience with the disease and grief.
Okay, so here's the thing, Justin.
Yeah.
I know you, and this does seem like the kind of story that would interest you. Everything I've heard so far sounds like something like sports. I mean, it's a tragic story. However,
yeah,
we're doing a comedy show, man. And I'm trying to figure out any reason whatsoever that you would bring this story, as I've heard it so far, to me right now.
Now, we started at like a 2 of your interest.
Yes.
If even you just seeing how far I've turned the wheel into the non-funny zone.
Sure.
What is your interest in this story?
Well, and I'll tell you, because I know you wouldn't do that kind of thing just without any payoff, right? It's like there are times where it's like it's better to drive way deep into unfunny land so that you can rocket into the stars. We've driven, let me just say, we're somewhere south of Tijuana right now, and I want to be in Canada.
All right, so scale of 1 to 10.
Also, I'm holding pot, so don't say anything to any of the friggin' drug people or the Border Patrol.
The Border Patrol looking for pot cop man.
Yes. Hello, it's me. I'm Border Patrol looking for pot man. Any of you have any pot here? If you do, you have to tell me. Sorry, go ahead.
Scale of 1 to 10. What is your interest in this story right now?
Well, I mean, I've already heard it. It's the guy does good after the despair of losing his girlfriend, and
scale 1 to 10.
5. Like, I'm done. I don't need to hear anymore. That's it.
Deadspin writes, did you enjoy the uplifting story, the tale of a man who responded to adversity by becoming one of the top players in the game?
No.
If so, stop reading.
Oh, no.
His girlfriend was fake.
Wait a minute.
Didn't exist.
Wait a minute. Wait, what? He pulled a what was it on Arrested Development where maybe has BS, the disease? Like he pulled a maybe, like claiming to have BS? Are you kidding me?
Fake. All of it. Fake. She didn't exist. She didn't live. She didn't get sick. She didn't get into a car accident. She didn't die. She had a Twitter account with the face of somebody. There's this other shadowy figure. And the story, you need to read it. Everybody needs to read it. It is amazing. The face that was on her Twitter, this alleged girlfriend before she died, allegedly, was somebody else's face that a intermediary went to this random girl and said, hey, take a picture of yourself holding up like this cute little acronym that the football star and this fake girlfriend had for each other. She did, sent him the picture, never posted it on the internet, and it was her photograph.
Well, okay, so that was
The
dumb.
fake girlfriend.
Why did he? I guess he's thinking like, I'm not going to use anything that's already on the internet. This is an original, but he's involving somebody. Okay, who did this? Did the football player do it? Did the football player's press agent do it?
Okay, now this all broke today, so things are still falling apart. Here's how we know that it is absolutely true. The university and the football player have both released statements saying that she didn't really exist. Now, the difference is that as of right now, the football player and the university are saying that they were taken advantage of.
Wait, they're saying they didn't know that she was fake?
Yeah.
What? No. But he was saying that, okay, he can't be because he said he physically went and visited her, right?
Well, Brian, I mean, come on. Yes, of course. He's lying. He is lying. And by the way, you want to know who has the biggest boner in the world right now?
Who has the biggest? Hold on. This just in. Our NSFW biggest boner in the world alert is in and hot on the scene with the latest on who has the biggest boner. Justin Robert Young. Who has the biggest boner on planet Earth right now?
Survey says Oprah.
We didn't even start talking about that story, man. That's another one,
Because
too.
here's the reason. Oprah right now is just space nuts.
Oh, yeah.
Right now. Over the fact that
Hold
she
on.
has
Let me. We
Janet
actually have live footage. Let me cut over to Oprah. There she is. She's very excited. Sorry, you were saying.
And by the way, as chat room has already deemed it, Bob McBob in the chat room, it's the oboe for old Winfrey.
It's the oboe?
Yeah, the Oprah boner.
Oh, the oboe. Got it. Of course. Dude, how I should watch our show sometime. That way I could get all these jokes.
So now here's the thing. She's got this big Lance Armstrong thing, and this dude, he will buckle like a belt in a week.
Well, what is he, like
there's no
20?
Yeah, I mean, he's a senior in college. He's definitely going to be a projected to be a first-round NFL draft pick. But here's the beautiful thing about this story. It's going to be the biggest news story in America tomorrow.
Yes.
For this reason. Number one, a massive amount of people. He just played in the national championship game and got his ass kicked.
Sure.
And they talked about him and his dead fake girlfriend. Now we know fake girlfriend on that telecast. So you have a big built-in audience. But also, this story, like, you don't care about sports, and it's amazing.
Yes.
Right?
Absolutely.
You could tell Bonnie, who doesn't care about sports, and she would be fascinated by this story.
Yep.
It plays for women, it plays for men, it plays for sports fans, it plays for non-sports fans.
Yep.
Nobody is not fascinated by a dude who made up a girlfriend who got into a debilitating car crash, got leukemia, and died. By the way, the day that she was supposed to have her funeral was supposed to have happened, which, by the way, was reported in the Associated Press as happening in Carson City, California. Do you know where Carson City, California is, Brian?
No idea.
Nowhere. It doesn't exist.
Guys, that's some good fact checking there, boys. Nicely done. Hold on. Let's cut over to there. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay? Carson City, California doesn't exist. In the funeral, that didn't happen. Manti Te'o and Manti Te'o's family told reporters that their casket was closed at exactly 9 a.m. And a couple hours later, they were playing, or Manti Te'o was playing in a football game in which he told reporters he wasn't going to be at the funeral because they had made a promise that he would never miss a football game.
Okay.
The girlfriend and the player.
Hold on.
He went out, had an insane game, had this huge upset, and then the coach gives his fake dead girlfriend the game ball. It's a big emotional locker room, and he says, "This one's for your girlfriend," and hands him the game ball. Everybody's cheering. They're crying. It's an emotional scene.
Okay. So here's the thing. As this is hatched, what do you think? Do you think he begins with the end in mind? Because the fact is, whether this was all made up or not, and obviously it was all made up, and whether or not he got busted or not, and he clearly got busted, even getting busted, now he's got a freaking interview on Oprah that the whole world's going to watch. This guy's going to be a household name. Do you think maybe it occurred to him that that's happening right now might be the logical end of the whole thing and that he's okay with it?
No. Because the logical end, if you were to take the most cynical position, right, then you believe this is a publicity stunt that he concocted with this other friend of his to give him a narrative to win the Heisman Trophy.
Right.
He was a finalist for the Heisman.
Right.
He did not win. But if you were to take the cynical view, then that is what this is.
Okay, now wait a minute. Hold on, real quick. Alternate universe. Somewhere out there, a molecule hit another molecule, and we went on a separate chain. In this other universe, he won the Heisman.
Yeah.
And it definitely, behind the scenes, had to do with this tragic story.
Yeah.
And then the story breaks right now that everything was fake. The Heisman, a trophy that's supposed to be based entirely on the merit of the performer, of the player. Like, how do they handle that in this alternate universe that I'm imagining?
the Heisman in this alternate universe, in its iconic pose,
Yes. What
comes alive
which
like a little man and says, "Screw it, I'm out of here. I'm the Heisman." Pop, 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 pop.
we actually
And
have
then
we have
Manti
footage.
Te'o's
We have footage.
No, you can leave, Heisman.
There it is. There's the Heisman heading out of town. He's like, "Screw this, I'm out of here."
Manti Teo dives for the Heisman, and the Heisman strikes its pose yet again to block
Pushing him away, of course. Dude, you're right. This is going to be... Here's the thing. It almost makes me sad that we're covering this now because most people who hear this, it's going to be way after the fact. It's going to be old news the moment they hear it.
I mean, only because if this gets as big as I think it's going to get, it's bigger than Lance Armstrong. It's bigger than gun control. It's bigger than Lady Gaga. It's bigger than everything on the planet. Nobody else will want to talk about anything than this dude's crazy fake girlfriend. Now, I have the way he can get out of it.
Okay, go ahead. He says it was Lance Armstrong's fault, that Lance Armstrong talked him into doing it.
Brian, welcome to Jury's Image Rehabilitation.
Yes.
I sit down with Manti Teo.
Wait, what's his name? Manti
Manti Teo.
Teo,
yeah.
Manti is his name?
Yep.
Right on. and you've heard him talk before?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then you will know this is a perfect representation. Here we go. Hello, it's me, Manti Teo. I have a bit of a kerfluffle with my PR, and I'm afraid that I need you to clean things up. Jerry?
Manti, here's your problem.
Yes?
You've gotten yourself into a real pickle.
Boy, have I. Falling in love with a girl who first gets hit by a car and then gets leukemia and then dies, allowing me to make the game-winning plays? I meant to say, I get out of pickles all the time. That's what I do.
We should name this episode Brian's Character Caravan.
I don't know what you're talking about. Go ahead.
Manti, number one, that's fake. We know that's fake. You admitted it's fake.
I'll tell you what wasn't fake was when I came through with the sports ball touchback that won the tournament. I'm Manti Teo.
Manti, you're real nervous. I understand.
Yes.
Here's your issue. There's this crazy other guy that right now you're saying was your tormentor and created this fake woman and tormented you by making you believe she was real.
No, okay. All right.
We all know that's not real. Okay? This guy isn't picking on you because there's all this other evidence that you're friends with him.
Yes. Wait.
Whether it's true or not, here is the new reality.
Yes.
Manti Teo is Manti Gayo. And this other guy is his boyfriend, and they concocted this lie because their gay romance cannot be seen in the manliest of sports, the homophobic football culture.
Oh, my God. Do you know who would have the biggest oboe then? Would be Oprah again. She already has the biggest oboe, but it would be an even bigger oboe.
Because now, no. Oh, the oboe is no-bo. No-bo at that point.
No.
Because you know who gets that interview?
Who? Glenn Beck.
Ebo. Ellen's boner.
Oh, no. Okay. Whoa. So so obviously that's an Ebo. That's an Ellen story. But am I hearing right that these guys are both Mormon? So it could be a Glenn Beck story.
Yes.
Glenn Beck. What about a Glenn Beck Ellen super special team up edition where
oh my God,
together they double team Gabo? What's his name? Ebo?
Manti Teo or
Teo.
Manti Gayo, as I'm rebranding him.
Yes, exactly.
So, all right, no, yeah. Let's say we just have Manti Teo sitting there, and it's like The Voice. And you just have Ellen and Glenn Beck and Oprah, and they each get to hit the button, and their chairs turn around, and they ask a question.
That would be amazing. That would be, and they should do a pay-per-view event, and it should be hyped up with a pre-show by Alex Jones and Piers Morgan.
1776 will happen, Piers, if Manti Te'o doesn't blow somebody in front of me.
It's in the Constitution.
Murder pill.
Come on.
Because listen, if you think that this is not a surefire strategy, allow me to direct you to who was the New Jersey governor who was like totally busted for corruption, like was just super, super, super corrupt. And then he completely turned it all the way around by saying that he was gay and that he was doing all these things for his boyfriend. And then there was people who stood up and cheered at his press conference.
No, I don't know who that was. Jim McGreevey.
Stood up and cheered at his Jim McGreevey.
I did not know that.
Look up Jim McGreevey press conference. He says, I am a gay American, and reporters, paid reporters, probably the same ilk that didn't realize that Manti Te'o was completely lying out of his butt about this fake girlfriend of his, stood up and cheered.
Are you serious? Wait, when did this happen? How did I not know this? Probably because I don't pay attention to
this
politics.
has to be like
six years ago. Because I vaguely remember hearing about this. Man, it must have been like 2006, 2007.
Just Google or look up Jim McGreevey, gay American.
Do you want me to play it?
Just to prove
I've got it right here. I've got it right here.
All
right.
Goes
here. It is.
First round.
Nope, here it is. You can see he really sells it right here. You can tell that's the moment that it all really comes together.
Oh, man.
Wait a minute. Ben Franklin in the chat says, just for the record, girlfriend's not fake. I've met her. Being fake is an elaborate hoax. So there's that. I don't know. Is Zach giving me the actual thing where he says, so what? He just says, I'm a gay American and all of a sudden everything's okay?
I cannot tell from the look of James McGreevey's face today that he once had a tortured past of living a closeted double life. But 2.5 years ago with his wife standing
So
by.
what was it that he did that he pawned off on being gay?
I believe it was like he had all these like crazy, like super, like nepotistic or like corruption, like appointments. Like I
his
believe
abusive
he made,
boyfriend.
if I remember the story correctly, he made his boyfriend the New Jersey head of like, it was something terrorism related, or no, Port Authority, some like terrorism Port Authority position, but some
Too easy.
really high state office.
Too easy. All right. I'm trying to hit play here. Nothing's happening. We get to see this.
Tell us what your environment was like growing up in New Jersey.
Well, New Jersey is
Oh, this is just a
it's just an interview. Man, I want to see the part where he says I'm gay and everyone starts cheering for it. That's weird.
Yeah, let me see if I can.
Nah, it don't matter. Whatever. Look. All right, are we gonna set some goals or not? Because we're already technically through the show. Can I tell you a bit about? All right, go ahead. What do you got?
I think I have it.
Yeah.
I have Jim McGreevey resigns press conference.
All right, what do you got? This is, as we are wont to do, this is, by the way, a great microcosm of our entire lives, because it's like you and I want to get something done that will advance our careers, and we get sidetracked because we want to know something about who's gay or press conference or something. What do you got?
Yes.
Is that it?
Oh, I sent it. I put it to you in the chat room.
In the chat. You are in the chat as somebody I can't find. There it is, right there. Okay, got it. Here we go. Boom, ba-deem, bum, boom. And it's 6 minutes long. How much am I watching?
You just want to get to the point where everybody cheers.
Well, I mean, as I'll know.
All right, here. Somebody else watch that. Give me time code. Give me a time code on that so we know exactly where it is.
who I am. As a young child, I often felt ambivalent about myself. In fact, confused. By virtue of my traditions and my community, I worked hard to ensure that I was a...
Now, this is a press conference ostensibly about the fact that he's up for like corruption charges or something.
that he's resigning as governor under corruption charges.
Oh my God! And then wow.
Accepted as part of the traditional family of America. I married my first wife, Carrie, out of respect and love.
Blah blah blah.
Whose love,
blah.
Those are my resolve.
Blah.
Reality, which is layered and layered,
Blah.
maybe even spirit.
Very end.
What's that?
It's the very end, I believe.
Oh, geez. So he talks for 5 full minutes about all this crap, giving this speech, and then he drops the G-bomb, the gamma bomb.
And most importantly, the governor's office, vulnerable to rumors, false allegations, and threats of disclosure. So I am removing these threats by telling you directly about my sexuality.
Okay, now is that the first time you said anything about the sexuality?
Let me be clear.
No,
I accept total and full responsibility for my actions. However,
Come on, blah, blah, blah. So anyway.
Yes, I did massively corrupt the state. However, I prefer penises to vaginas.
What?
Now imagine your Manti Te'o.
I'll tell you what. You know what? Why not take it to the extreme? Like, be like, yes, I made up the fact that I had a girlfriend. I made up the fact that she got hit by a car. I made up the fact that she had leukemia, and I made up the fact that she died. However, occasionally, I like to look at a lady with a horse.
So you're saying go even farther.
I say that's so. The whole advice.
Lifestyle.
It's
but
so
you wanna go
2007.
beyond the realm of well-defined sexuality to a point of deviance for which is illegal.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that's clearly in the next, and then say I watch My Little Pony. You get the brony vote in there, and like I'm not above. Sometimes I imagine me and Rainbow Dash having a magical evening, and like get all Dash in
but
that.
only
ass.
with a woman.
Yeah,
because otherwise, I mean, you can be a guy who's into horse sex, but gay horse sex is crossing a line.
Well, I mean, I think Rainbow, they're all girls on that show, I think, except for like the soldiers. Wait, and now I'm just now I'm revealing how much of My Little Pony friendship is magic. I know, but the important thing is that I say that it's you got to go beyond the gay thing. You got to get into
horse wrestling.
Horse wrestling, sure. Apparently.
Get along, little doggies, onto each other and other humans.
Can we make our first goal never to touch the subject again? Like, can that be the first goal on our list of goals?
Which one? Horse banging or gays?
Gay horse sex is wrong. It says so in the Bible.
Skrilla says he wishes we would stop beating this dead gay horse.
This poor dead gay horse. Too Equus.
By the way, I want that to be the new unofficial mascot of this show, is a dead gay horse.
How would you I don't even want to know. I just want to see what they come up with.
Dead gay horse is the new mascot of the NSFW show.
I love my dead gay horse.
That is the new shirt that we're going to do is I love my dead gay horse.
Padre SJ says, I've read the Bible from cover to cover. It never says banging horses is not fun. I mean, I'm just saying, I'm not saying I'm just saying that's not in there. Look at my horse. My horse is fabulous. Yes, marriage. This is what we're talking about. MARE. I'm so tempted to touch these links. Oh my God.
All right. Well, as these come in, I always know that it's good when Brian's just like, oh, good God.
There's a number of these I can't show. What? Sorry, go ahead.
Let's talk about, so we talked as the year turned. Oh, good Lord.
I'm sorry, you were saying something. It was very hard for me to pay attention.
We talked when the new year came that we were gonna make goals. You made goals and put your New Year's, not resolution, but goals out on Twitter.
Yeah, no, okay. Yeah, and this is something. I mean that's what's look. New Year's resolutions are stupid, soft, and mushy. And you ever, and you probably know what it's like when you launch your own business. You need some fire under your ass to get stuff done. And one thing that you go to quite often is there's a lot of people who talk about success of various varieties, and a lot of that is about 50% pseudoscientific, total BS. But it all has the ability to kind of fire you up. So you listen to a lot of stuff. You sort of pick and choose. And I'll tell you what, man, a lot of the stuff that those asshats say about goal setting is 100% right on. Like if you write specific goals, as a hardcore skeptic, I can honestly say that the power of written goals is the closest thing to real magic that I've experienced in the entire world. Because when I quit my day job, it was terrifying to me, the idea like, how am I going to provide? What am I going to do? Et cetera, et cetera. And so, you do these goal setting exercises like describe your perfect day in 5 paragraphs, and you say exactly what you want. And as long as they tell you to be really specific and put a deadline on everything. I want to make this much money by this date. I want to have this kind of deal or whatever. And so I put out, as I often do, I put together a list of what I wanted to accomplish in 2013. But different this year was I went ahead and tweeted out a picture of some of them, not all of them, but some of them, and encouraged other people. And I got some really great response. Simone, how do you pronounce Simone's last name? Simone Allen? Allen?
Yeah. I don't know. I just
anyway, she hit me up and she's like, I got these goals, and it's like I encouraged her to make them a little more specific and put a deadline on them and all that stuff. But
I remember that Twitter back and forth. She was like, "Oh, well, I want to eat smaller portions and do stuff like that," and you were like, "No, you can't. That's what you need to avoid."
That's why I turned hostile. I was just like, "No,
listen,
no,
get that snuff off my Twitter stream." No, so you were like, no, you have to do like how many calories you're going to eat per day or per week or something like that. And that's how that's what you have to do. Is you have to have numbers.
Yes. So at any rate, but you of all people who I wouldn't have expected to be into the goal setting thing, were saying we should set some goals for NSFW, which I thought was pretty rad.
Well, it's just one of those things where NSFW, and I think by its very nature, NSFW has kind of been the thing that, it has been the tree that grows in Brooklyn for both of us. Like,
what does that mean?
It is just kind of always this like, it was like this little thing that we both like thought was cool. And so we kept doing it because we liked it, but it's kind of always been more successful than we've ever thought it was.
Like we both, I see that. Like the tree in Brooklyn, we're like, it's adorable that it's there. And of course it'll be dead next week, but hey, look at that. There's an effing tree right there. I'm a guy who likes trees in Brooklyn, man.
The cavalcade rolls on. Maybe step right up. The man of a million voices.
Hey, maybe some kind of, I don't know, like a fruit or something will come, and then we can eat that fruit. But until then, I guess we'll water it. I don't know.
Who are you?
I'm a guy who likes trees in Brooklyn, man.
All right. But NSFW has always been like, when it was just BB Live show.
Yeah.
It was always like, well, we're just screwing around.
Yes.
Like, what do you mean there's 300 people watching? Like, well, it was insane.
Right. And it was weird because like that was the whole purpose and my stated goal. And I don't know if you remember this, this kind of pulling back the curtain a bit for a lot of listeners, but my stated goal to Justin was that I wanted BB Live show to be bad, but I wanted it to be a safe place to be bad so that we could get good. And part of that meant taking risks. And I remember in those early days, it was when I was terrified about cultivating an online personality and about, like preserving my image and all these things. And I would wake up the next morning. I mean, there's photos where like, do you remember that one night when we did the opinion minions and I unzipped my fly and I stuck my knuckles down to resemble testicles, and I teabagged and just dipped on a bunch of opinion minions. And then somebody like posted it on Dig within seconds, and I was like, I was like, please don't ruin me, please don't put that up. And like every morning after BB Live show, I'd wake up with the BB Live hangover, and I would think like, well, the only way I can fix this.
And I would even say, to me, that process was before I ever got involved in BB Live.
No, well,
that was.
I mean, because you were there pretty early. You were there by February, and then by March, it was pretty much regular that I would never do a BB Live without you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think there was probably, I don't know. I mean, I don't remember the timeline like as much, but I do know that like from having talked to you initially about doing it,
right?
That the idea was just try a bunch of things.
Yes.
Like just go there and just do whatever you wanted and have a good time. And as long as you're having a good time and you're talking to people, that's, going to be the way to go. And then like when we started talking about like making it a sustained, or it being more about what we were doing, or the kind of show we wanted to do and like kind of molding it into something.
Right.
Like based on what we liked, like radio wise and television wise and shared interest and stuff like that.
Right.
And thinking about bits and stuff like that. Like as that idea, like as that kind of got on that track.
Right.
Well,
And real quick, like people in the chat room are saying like, well, what was the difference between BB Live and NSFW? The answer is literally not one person on planet Earth to answer to. Like literally, not even the audience. We didn't care about how long we went. We didn't care about what the content was. We didn't care about curse words. We didn't care about copyrighted content because there was no money involved. It was like we could go as long as we want. There was no sponsors to answer to. Obviously, massively different from day one of NSFW, where all we cared about was impressing Leo and ingratiating ourselves to the Twit audience and trying to make them hip to our kind of bizarre brand of humor. There were a significantly different set of rules during that time.
Well, yeah, and in the shows were like 7 hours, like
easily, yes,
really sprawlingly long shows that would oftentimes have these like huge dips of like like us just kind of staring at each other or playing YouTube videos over and over and over again. But it was even then the audience that we had, and whenever we would try to do something, like when we did like a game night and we tried to dig up a video so it was like on the front page of Dig, and we did it was blowing up.
Oh my god, it was the biggest thing on planet Earth. Are you kidding me? And weirdly, like the BB Live show kind of sowed the seeds for as I've said, like NSFW and certainly BB Live show are almost kind of openly hostile to new people. Like BB Live show flat out was like, I'm doing it for the 12 people who were here at the beginning. And if you're one of those 280 other people who are come in who think what's happening now is funny, great. But we would drop inside references nested throughout the thing. And we continue to do that on NSFW. But that's part of the reason that we wanted to have this discussion was because like NSFW is kind of turning into something. And I wonder, as we've talked about, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, here's my point is that like by its very nature, this project has always been more successful than I think either of us have thought, to the point where now like the successes that happen are things that like are actually like like not to say that like this is all like a farm. It's like finally we can get some money out of this, Brian. But
seriously, that's how we feel.
Financial successes that have kind of popped up like all the other successes during the show, like just because it was this thing that we always discount, that we're always just like, yeah, I mean, NSFW's fun, but like we could never, like if we go to Dragon Con, we're gonna have the 30 people that are always in the chat room, and like the 15 of them might show up to Dragon Con. We'll have 15 people. We show up to Dragon Con and we're like now an event that people look forward to.
Sure.
Like we fill rooms. We do like the Diamond Club, and it's like, well, all right, we'll do the Diamond Club. It'll be like game night. Now, like we look at like oh, well, it's like we did with that other thing where we get it up there, it'll hang up there for 5 seconds, and then it'll fall back down to earth, and then it goes for 3 weeks, and all this money comes in, and we're on NPR, and we're covered around the world. So it's like.
Well, so what it sounds like what you're saying. It sounds like what you're saying is like at some point we have to stop making excuses for our own success and admit that maybe, just maybe, Chat Realm's a force to be reckoned with, and maybe we're on to something that's actually pretty badass.
Well, it's just like we're doing this thing where it's like well, like, yeah, I mean, like, we're not driving anywhere, but we get behind the wheel of the car and we're just like, yeah, I don't know where I'm going. I drove right up to an open pile of money.
Yes.
Isn't that crazy?
Exactly. Hold on. We have breaking news. We have a photo of our dead gay horse right there. I'm sorry, you were saying. Go ahead. Okay, so what?
That's like the regular horse boy, like Baz.
Yeah, somebody.
When you add the
towel,
a horse element to it, the tag to it. Just look at his mouth. It just looks like he's going fabulous.
I didn't deserve this. Amazing. All right. So
I mean, the idea is we owe it to.
Oh my God! Hold on. Chat Realm is reminiscing, and Bri Chan reminds Kuhan that I made tea out of my mouth. Do you remember that when we did the world?
I do. I remember that.
Sorry, go ahead. Making tea in his mouth. It was amazing.
So I think we owe it to the Diamond Club. We owe it to Chat Realm that like let's actually what would happen theoretically if we said, you want to know what? Like we always kind of have these half ideas, and like 90% of them we immediately come to Chat Realm about. Every once in a while we have kind of secret ones just because we think it would be really cool if we surprise people. Like what if we actually set goals for like what do we want out of NSFW?
Here's the way, and this is a little bit of serious. This is the misty-eyed stuff that I warned you about early on. Is that if you want to set goals, what you should do is dream big, dream outrageous, dream beyond what you think you can do, because that's what will inspire you to at least go for it. And a lot of people, I was kind of surprised by the amount of chatter that came back on the goals I set, because there were a bunch of goals that technically were out of my reach. You know, like I can't force other people to follow my Twitter feed. And so therefore some people said like, well, you shouldn't say, set a goal that you can't directly control. It's like, you know what? I can't directly force somebody to give me a television show, but that's not going to stop me from setting that as a goal and from writing pitches and from going out and trying to sell one. I can't tell other people that they need to subscribe to Scam School or NSFW, but that's not going to stop me from trying to make the kind of content and putting it in the kind of places where it blows up and goes nuts. I'm the kind of guy who says, screw it. Make your dreams outrageous and ridiculous, and make them to where most likely you will fail after 1 year, but you'll get closer than you ever dared hope. Make them so that like, wow, if I got halfway there, that would be amazing. And go for that crazy dream.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And I think, the weird thing with NSFW is that it's always kind of been like, it's been the fun place, and,
sure.
And it's been a place that I don't think either of us have really ever like taken particularly seriously in the like, hey, this could be a thing. It's just been a thing that's always been more successful than we've thought,
right.
And it means a lot to us. But it's like, what if we paid attention? So what would you like, Brian, to be a goal for NSFW? Let's just go back.
Okay. Let's. I'll tell you this much. I think that for a long time, I think in BB Live Show we needed to get our sea legs underneath us. I think NSFW was kind of its own animal when it launched, and the hardest of the hardcore became what we call, the Diamond Club and Chat Realm. I think it's time for us to tighten up the show as a presentation. I think we've gotten better at giving peripheral outrageousness before and after the show, but the show itself, I think, should be tighter and more appealing to outsiders so that we can get and for what I'm told, it is that way, but I want to see numbers. I want to see numbers on the show.
So, all right. So you would like to say if we have, and
Chat
we
room
can
doesn't
break
like
out
it.
that, like,
They
where we are
immediately
now.
say I'm selling out, is what they say. And they send me pictures of dead gay horses. And then they're giving me numbers 872, 65, 12.
By the way, I very much like one of our goals that was written in the chat room: be funnier more often.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a legit goal.
So, I mean, like, all right. So what would let's say double? We're going to say double our download.
Well, okay.
Our average download number.
Your and my goal is be funny enough that everybody wants to share this with more people. How about that? How about that, chat realm? Would you like the show if Justin and I were funnier to the point that you wanted to tell other people about the show? Would that be okay?
Well, I mean, here's the thing. Number one, the show is always going to be us, as it always has been us.
Right.
And really the scariest part of like this kind of change is talking about it as change. And it's not really. It's just that we've always changed the show. The show's very different now than it was when it started.
Eat a billion dicks, sell out Brushwood. Thank you. As I will.
Is that a bell?
No. That's a clinical term. That's I think it's a teleological proof. That's what I'm saying. Maybe. Yeah. Hold on. Let's go to our expert on this kind of thing. Yep. Here he is right here. Go for it. That's all I got. All right.
Okay,
What's your goal? What's your goal? Apparently, I already pissed off the chat realm by saying I think we should be funnier. What's your goal?
No. All right. Hold on. Wait a minute. And that also, Brian Brushwood would come to you, Brian Brushwood, and say making a tighter show is a mushy goal, and that is not an objective thing. If we want more viewers, then what we should say is we want to double our average viewers by the end of 2013.
Yeah,
now,
dude. Yeah,
Free Lunch in the chat room said, be honest, are there outside pressures to change the show, or is this just you and Justin? I'll tell you this. There is nobody gives us any notes on the NSFW show in a few very key instances.
Only when we physically endanger the audience do we get notes on the show, or another time that I will definitely not mention live on the air right now because it's too recent and too painful. But outside of that,
one day.
Well, certainly one day. You know what? Maybe we should. You know who should we bring back on the show is Danger Dane Golden. And just have him randomly chew us out on the show, even though he hasn't.
Well, remember, he wanted to get away from that because he was looking for applying for jobs and stuff, and the BDpedia entry was like number 3 on Google.
When you search for Dane Golden, like the first thing it was this horrific wiki article about him. It was amazing.
So here. So,
right.
Would you say double? Because I think right now we're at what? Anywhere from 12 to 15.
I honestly haven't seen any numbers at all. But
last time we looked.
Last time we looked, it was like 12 grand an episode. I think we deserve double that. We really should be.
All right. So there we go.
And you know what? And now's a good time because we got the YouTube. We got our own YouTube page soon. I assume he holds with his hands up.
It's up. YouTube.com/NSFW.
How about that? Why don't we set a goal for 50,000 subscribers? How about that? Boom.
So there we go. 50,000 subscribers, 24,000 average.
And I'll tell you what. Here's what it does. Here's what it does is it sets your mind. Like you immediately start thinking what needs to happen to make that happen. And the first thing that pops in my mind is we need to make some like viral cutouts. We need to make some extra bonuses in addition to NSFW that are designed to go viral. And one of the things we had talked about was like you and me doing like kind of daily little night attack chats and throwing them out there. You and I should probably record some little 1-minute night attack chats and see if one of those blows up if we have the right idea at the right time.
No. What up? All right, here we go. Ryan. I want to release Night Attack 2, and I want to release before the end of the year, not 1, but 2 t-shirts.
Oh, absolutely. Done and done. Dude, we've way underserved on the t-shirt market. Absolutely. And Night Attack 2, I think you didn't put a date on it. By what date do you want Night Attack 2? We're wishing.
Oh, I'm talking about all of this. I'm talking about all of this by in the year.
End of the year. You
goal,
really think we need a whole nother year for Night Attack 2?
No. I don't know. I mean, all right. You're like, huh? Sissy boy?
Come on.
What?
What's up? What's up? You gonna bring it? You're gonna go. Come on. When's Night Attack 2 coming? And go.
Number one. Also, hold on. Wait a minute. Because there was time when I wanted to do a hard Night Attack 2 and understood by the pressures. But in the same way that, remember in Mortal Kombat, I think it was 2 or 3, with the reptile, you just spit acid. Yes. You just pull down his mask and spit acid.
Yes.
I said, I thought I was being coy. It's like, hey, what do you say we go ahead, throw our hats over the wall, and before the end of the year, Night Attack 2. And I just got...
Unfortunately, you did not realize like what pressure you were hitting us under. It was totally brutal.
Absolutely. Night Attack, people are saying April 1st.
You know what? We can announce officially April 1st is when we're going to have Night Attack 2 finished. I don't know if it'll be released yet, but it'll be finished by April 1st. How about that?
All right. There we go. And then, what do you want? A t-shirt before Dragon Con?
Oh,
and then a
easily.
t-shirt at Dragon Con?
Yeah. No, we can look, you and I can make 8 t-shirts in the next 20 minutes. It's like, here's the way t-shirts work. You and I crack open a beer, and we're like,
I love my big gay horse, dead gay horse.
I love my dead gay horse. Exactly, right? This stuff writes itself, man. Something about Hitler, time machine, kisses Doctor Who, ashamed, unicorn lasers, and go.
Here's no BS. Here's exactly how we got the last t-shirts for Dragon Con. I was sitting at a bar in San Francisco while Brian was shooting Scam School episodes.
Right.
I was talking to Chad and Brett, and I'm like, man, we are really running up against it if we want to do shirts at Dragon Con this year. I'll just put it out on Twitter. I said, who wants to design diamonds for shirts at Dragon Con? We got the diamond logo that night, and we waited another 2 weeks before we put in the order.
Yes, it was amazing. And it is what is great about Chat Realm and everything that is utterly delightful.
So, all right, how about this? Do we want to have like our own voted up site or something so people can submit NSFW designs and we make one of them the thing that we do?
Yeah, you know what? If Chat Realm, and as we always do, we serve at the pleasure of Chat Realm. If this is something that people want enough that they want to make some kind of site where people can submit images on there. And we understand that there's already other things, but we don't get a cut of other things. Like if you go to some other t-shirt and make it, then we don't get anything out of it. So if you want us to promote it, then it should be a Chat Realm thing so that we can like me and Justin can pick our favorites and make that kind of thing.
Yeah, well, and number, we're super cool about everybody using the NSFW and the diamond and stuff and selling stuff to NSFW people. Like we're not crazy about that, but at the same time, like, it's cool.
It'd be awesome if we made a buck from this show. Not gonna lie. Amazing.
Reposter says R.L. Stein interviewing R.L. Stein. Can we do it by the end of the year?
Sure. Absolutely. Why not, man? Look, man, let's go ahead and wrap this thing up. I got this box I'm supposed to open. You know the saga of this box? This box got mailed to my place twice. First, it went to the wrong city, and then it got torn open and somebody stole parts of it. And then it got sent back, and then it got sent to me a second time. This is a 6-week saga. I've been swapping email with Gary Smith, hell, I'm just gonna. Do you mind if I just open this right now on the show?
Yeah.
He said that he put in some stuff for the whole family in here, which is always a little bit scary. You got anything you want to promote before we wrap things up?
Yes. I mentioned it last week. This week it is goddamn. For real, 2 awesome new podcasts for you guys.
What?
the Jury Podcast live on iTunes.
Are you not
go to
calling it Jury
Talks.
Saturday? Are you just call or Jury Talks or what?
Well, Jury Talks is the website. Jury is just going to be the podcast for now. And also, go to my Twitter and the beta episode of The Adventures of Young Rounceville, me and Brett's new podcast, which is kind of going to be, I think we kind of realized at some point that it was going to be a little bit of a travelogue since we both travel so much.
Sure.
But it's going to be super awesome. So listen to the beta episode. That'll be coming soon to iTunes. But everybody, subscribe to Jury on iTunes.
I'm so stoked to hear this, dude. That sounds awesome. I didn't know you guys were doing this. Okay, so one thing Gary did was he put the original box. He said a box within a box. Yo, dog,
That's
I heard
awesome.
you like priority mailboxes. This is how it apparently showed up back at his place. Torn open and with stuff missing. All right, there's nothing in there. And here's another box that I got. So I guess now's as good a time as any for me to tell you about. I got some news too.
Yes.
We launched the scam stuff. We have our first post-launch release right now. It's happening right now.
Awesome.
This episode of Scam School, we teach you a trick that involves taking a borrowed dollar bill, destroying it, making it vanish, and appearing someplace in an impossible location. And we teach you how to do it for free on the show. But if you are lazy, like I am, we do all the work for you at Scam Stuff. So go to scamstuff.com and check out the release of, it's called Counterfeit. And I'm very pleased with it. It's very exciting. Scamstuff.com, spelled just like it sounds. All right, what is going on in here? Okay, so yes, look at this. This is from Gary, stuff for the whole family. He gave me a book, How to Never Grow Up, 400 pages of skills, activities, and mischief and secret knowledge, which, to be honest, half these guarantee you are going to be on Scam School. So watch for that. Holy crap. I got a mega fart bomb, which is a 4-pack, and
Who is Gary?
Gary's a fan, man. He's a big fan. Mega fart bomb. This thing it expands and then explodes. The package will be inflated by air. Package explodes, releasing a disgusting smell. Do not eat. Says so right on the package. We also got stiff drink, slush powder. We got atomic fireballs because I eat fire. Holy crap, that's brilliant. We also got Big Red because I eat fire. Yes. This helped me scam my way into the master bedroom. The Think Geek Eviltron. Hold on. Have you seen this? Do you know what this is?
No.
It is, I believe, let's see, pull tab to activate battery, press button to change sound. 1 beep means random sound. 2 beeps mean off. Basically, you hide it. And I think it just makes sounds forever and drives people crazy.
That's amazing.
It's awesome. Dude, this is great. Thank you so much, Gary. Dentine Fire, Big Red. Oh my God, hot tamales. You have no idea how much I love hot tamales. All right. Thank you, Gary. You're the best person who ever lived. All right, man. Dude, I guess that's it for this episode. We went extra long today. I hope that's all right.
Yes. No, I think people will dig it. And, listen, I very much like doing, listen, we talk a lot about chat realm and everything, but I like the idea of coming together on some of this stuff. You want to know what? Why don't we talk about it on our neglected subreddit?
We have a subreddit. Yes. Go to what is it? NSFWshow.reddit.com? He makes up on the spot.
Yes. Oh, by the way, Bob McBob is saying, and this will be a fun tease for people if they want to listen to the Jury podcast, but I had a brainstorm for what I want to do with the what's it called? The Diamond Club money that I got. I figured out a fun thing to do with it.
It's diamondclub.reddit.com. Diamondclub.reddit.com.
Here we go. Reddit.com/r/Diamond Club. So head over there. We'll talk about all this stuff. But yes, basically it involves me giving $3,000 to the school in upside.
Holy crap, that's amazing, dude. To the poorest school in America?
Yes. So we're trying to figure out the best way to make that happen. But download the Jury podcast if you want to hear me talk about that.
All right, right on.
Oh, by the way, next week we will have the winner of the movie draft.
If only we had this week's movie draft minute ready to rock. How amazing would that be? What?
Welcome to your Movie Draft Minute for the week of January 14th, 2013. I'm your host, Roberto Villegas. Don't open that champagne yet, Brian Brushwood.
What?
We still have one more week to go. Sarah Lane's in 6th place with $364.1 million. Justin Robert Young's in 5th place with $377.8 million.
Outlast.
Padre Robert Balassar is in 4th place with $431.6 million. Tom Merritt's in 3rd place with $447.2 million. Scott Johnson's in 2nd place with $471.4 million. And still in 1st place with $479.3 million, it's Brian Brushwood.
Dude.
And that is your Movie Draft Minute for the week of January 14th, 2013.
Less than 8 million? Are you kidding me? Dude,
let's check the updated.
Yeah, let me take a look right now. I'm going to go to draft.nsfwshow.com. Dude, it's 480 to 473.7. Oh, dude. Yeah, it's 7 million now. Only 7 million between us, and he's gaining every single day. This is all going to come down to this one thing. All right.
Yeah, no, really, it depends on the theater count for Lincoln. That's what it's all going to come down to. It better not drop for you.
All right, guys. Love you. Happy birthday, Jammer B. You have an awesome birthday. Almost as good as mine and Brett Rounceville's and David Prager's and
Ryan?
Ben Franklin's.
Oh, NSFW.
Hey, man. It is my birthday here in the USA. Die in a fire, man.
You have a pink gay face.
Did you say I have a pink gay face?